Hey guys, Frontwoods Farmer, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing something a little different, something I've been thinking about for a while that I kind of wanted to do with you guys. Around the farm, if you guys have been watching the channel for a long time, we're always cutting something or chopping something or doing some sort of utility work that we need a knife for, and I can't ever figure out the perfect knife. Now you guys aren't seeing that in my videos, but I'll be down in the field or down in the woods and I need to either cut a limb, or I'll need to cut a piece of like bale twine, or something gets caught in a brush hog, or really anything, and there is no perfect knife. So what I think I'm going to start doing is giving my honest reviews of a couple knives that I enjoy and I like and I found really useful around the farm, and I'm going to also show you their different purposes, how they're built. As you guys know, if you're subscribed, we get into blacksmithing on the channel a lot. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button right now and the bell notification next to that. That way you get all my new videos. Today what we have, I actually found a stainless steel Bowie, and you guys are gonna make fun of me. You say, oh, it's Bowie. 200 years ago, they didn't know the guy's last name barely. So I'll call it a Bowie. You can correct me if I'm wrong. So anyway, this is a $15 mossy oak. They sell them at Tractor Supply Bowie knife. Now, I normally don't fall for those cheap knives because if they're under, if you're gonna get, I mean, how big is that? That's an 8-inch Bowie knife. So 8 inches of stainless, what is it? Yeah, full tang handle for 15 bucks. It's gotta be junk, right? Well, maybe not. What caught my eye is the stainless steel. And when you're reading on the back here, it's actually a 9 1/3 inch stainless steel blade, stainless steel construction. But what caught my eye was the stainless, and I was real curious what sort of stainless steel that this is made of. So after further research, let's get into it right now. I found out that stainless steel is a really good stainless. Now it's a Chinese stainless, so it's not USA quality. But for $15, I'm going to give you my honest review of this knife. We'll do some field testing and whatnot, what have you. But yeah, the stainless steel, the carbon content I read was comparable to that of a railroad spike. So 15 bucks, you can't go wrong. I'm going to flip around the camera and I'm going to show you this knife up front and do the unboxing. Okay, let's just start right off the bat with I brought out a couple of my favorite knives that I use, like I told you I would, and maybe we'll bring those in a field test, maybe not. I don't want to lug around too much. These are more knives. These two knives I actually got as a gift. So let's get into these a little bit before we do a full-on review of our Bowie boa knife. So more knives, they're a Swedish knife, they're a well-made knife, and they're very inexpensive, easy to clean. These are great for deer. They're fixed blade knife. They're not what's called a full tang knife, like on the Bowie knife where it goes all the way down to the tang to the pommel. There's no pommel on these knives. That's your end cap there. Not really a guard, it's all integrated into the knife. I've used this on everything. I've hit it on bone. These are great all around knives, and you could pick some of these more knives up for under $20, believe it or not. And they're a really well-made knife. I think they're very undervalued. So price point, comparable, more knife, you're gonna get about $100 to $150 knife for under $20. They're a great deal. I would snag a few of these up before they start going up. These are a Pathfinder knife. I'm trying to remember the guy. He's a survival expert, and it's a full tang knife. My father-in-law gave me this. So this is more of a camp knife. I wouldn't recommend this for so much for deer. This is all you had, it would work, it would do the job in the field. Again, nice thick spine on this knife. It's gonna hold up, nice handle. And they send you these blanks as a kit. You sharpen them, you do the handles, you set your pins, you put your lanyards in. Comes with these sheaths. Again, these are a little more expensive, but you're getting a better quality. This is more, I would say, of a utility tool. This is more of your traditional fixed blade knife, more for hunting, cutting, multiple uses, less use, but very good quality. So let's get into the hunting knife. First off, it's got a little guard here on the tip. Looks like to be, just read the back, a little bit again. I don't know what pack a wood handle is, but it looks like to be like a walnut. Polyester sheath. So the sheath is a good thing for woods work, and I'll tell you why. Leather sheaths, I love them. It's kind of almost made me not buy it because it has a poly sheath, but after looking at it more, I'm like, okay, in the woods, chopping things, rain, it's gonna dry out faster. I like it. And these, again, my more knife I used a lot. That had to be the most difficult knife that I've ever opened in my life. I don't know if that's a good or if that's a bad thing. Some initial cons that I found off the bat, and again, I'm always going to revert back to only $15. Do a little work yourself if you can, and it'll be worth it. But finger grooves. I cannot almost stomach finger grooves because it's forcing your hand on this knife in the position they want it in. Not always a good thing. I'm glad it has the pommel. That's the end piece, really nice solid pommel. Grind marks are a little coarse, but I like the look. It's almost like a brushed nickel. Also, the guard. That's why I'm glad it has a guard and good pommel, because if my hand is sliding around in that, it won't really go anywhere. But yeah, finger grooves, not a fan of. Also not a deal breaker for 15 bucks. I love the full tang design where the blade goes all the way through the handle. It's gonna be strong. Not complaining too much because of the price point, but it is a very thin spine, so that's not gonna probably withstand too much, but you know, before it starts bending or snapping. So we'll find out. Serrations, the design I'm not a fan of, but again, 15 bucks, you can cut some limbs and things like that with that. I can't remember what this is called. Let's just call it the blood groove, because that's what it would be meant for if you're, you know, doing up a deer or something like that. Again, not a fan. I'd rather have the more of the weight and the strength in the spine than cutting out these holes. Just put, you know, one long indentation in. You know, not a lot of grind marks. I mean, the finish on this knife for $15, I'm going to give that a good pro. Tang's a full pro. Pommel's a pro. Guard's a little on the large side, but not bad. I like the guard. Wood's not bad looking. I love that it's pinned. I love the fact that the handle is, they really, I know they went for more design, I think, with this, but I really wish they didn't have finger grooves on this knife, because they did a good job. Thicken up the spine and got yourself a good knife. It does have a good look to it, a good feel to it. It's a little forward heavy, which I can't understand. It must be a lighter wood, so that's not a good thing. But again, for $15, yeah, I'm happy. I am. I would buy this again right off the bat. Let's get to the sheath, because I've never really seen a great review on the sheaths. I like the sheath, and I don't like poly sheaths. I'm old school. I like leather. I really like the sheath. Let's see how the fitment is, because it can't be great for what I paid for this knife. Okay, I'm wrong. It fits like a glove. This is a really nice sheath. Okay, the button's not junk either. You know, some of them buttons are so hard to undo. Does it fit around the knife good? Oh, wow. Okay, sheath is probably the best point. Okay, no, I don't like this, but we could always throw a stitch down there for your belt. I don't like the sliding. So, but that's not bad. The sheath overall, 9 out of 10, I'd say. Can't complain. For price point, 10 out of 10. There you have it. There's your $15 Tractor Supply Mossy Oak, as you guys would say, Bowie. I call it a Bowie knife. Because if you look at the knife, the way the spelling is, B-O-W-I-E, what does B-O-W spell? That does not spell boo, that's B-O-O, it spells bow. And then I is silent E on both Bowie and Bowie. I call it a Bowie knife. Just kidding, I call it a Bowie knife. All right, let's bring us out to the field, do a few tests on it, but honestly, if we just ended the video here, I would say yes, 100% worth 15. Most I would pay for the knife, and this is because of the finger guard, I would say 25 or so, you know, to get up there after tax around 30. I think that is all that knife's worth, and that's only because of this handle. If it were not for the handle and not for the the groove in there in the blade, the holes and the thin spine, they could have easily made this over $100 Bowie knife. Very easy. The craftsmanship through the handles on that, a lot of these cheap knives, you'll see where like everything's off center. That's what you want to look for on some of these scales on the side, the wood scales, the handle. You'll see where, like, you know, it doesn't fit up to the pommel good, or the pommel's higher here and the guard's crooked. So for 15, they did a really good job on craftsmanship. 10 out of 10 for the price point. Inexpensive, good way to get yourself into a nice knife, good camp knife. If you go RVing, if you go camping, if you go hiking, this is definitely worth $15. For hikers, this may be a problem though. If you're a hardcore hiker like some of my buddies, they want they want less weight. I would go more with a Mora knife, like I was saying. If you're worried about price, if you have a little more to spend, you know, you can get yourself a Pathfinder. But again, even with the Pathfinder, it's like the Bowie knife, it's heavy. So if you guys are like, 20-mile hikers, which I'm not, I would go more with a Mora, but you would want to look into that. All right, let's get to it. All right, now this is a prime example of why I absolutely already love this knife. Right now I'm on my Polaris Sportsman 700, and a lot of times, like, we'll be trail riding, or we're gonna go up to like the upper field or up to our other field where we can do the hay cutting videos. And a lot of times, like, I don't want to carry cutters and my chainsaw and everything else like we do on the UTV, and I'm just trying to buzz up on a quad, and there's like just a thin branch, and they're hitting off your face because it's summertime, everything's getting overgrown. But this way, I pop my knife right out and I can cut a couple branches down. So I'm gonna fire up the quad real quick. I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean. Overall, not bad. I'll show you guys what happened here. The edge, it held up pretty good. Let's see what I'm in there. Okay. So yeah, the edge, it held up pretty good. Felt decent in the hand. The knife really didn't want to move around much. It moved some, and that's because the finger grips didn't match up. But overall, it really wasn't bad. The serrations, like I thought up top, they're too aggressive. Maybe on like a large log, but then again, that would take you all day to saw through a large log with this small knife. So, okay, the serrations, I'm gonna give a 0 out of 10, they're useless. Blade, so far, I can't really give it too high of a rating, but yeah, I'm only gonna give it for chopping like the twigs and stuff like that. I don't think it has the weight, the spine. It doesn't, it just, I mean, I was really chopping there. Some of the small stuff, I would say blade sharpness, you're a 7 out of 10. Blade overall use though, yeah, it's probably like a 5. It'll go through it, but it takes some effort. Still $15. Yep, still a good buy, I think. Yeah, still a good buy. A nice entry level Bowie knife. I'm gonna do a quick chop test. This wood here, it's a little bit brittle, but it's not real brittle. It's a thicker size log, as you can see. I'm gonna do a quick chop test. Take a couple chops at that, see if we can't split it in half. Might do it in one try, might not. Then look at our blade. Absolutely no damage to our blade at all. So far, so good on the chop test. All right, I didn't catch this on film, but total fail. Don't buy the $15 Bowie, and I'll tell you why. Whenever the camera went off, I said, man, is this nice? You know, I took it out. I did another chop with it like this, and this happened. So I think what that narrows that down to is an improper heat treat, because the steel inside also could be the steel, but you know, it's real porous, it's real brittle. I don't think we're gonna be able to salvage the knife. Don't think any part of the knife. So yeah, kind of bummed out. I wanted to do a real nice lengthy review. I don't know if the whole blade's not heat treated. What I'm thinking about doing with this is I may cut these serrations off. If I cut the serrations off and then I heat up the spine real good, I think I can get some flexibility in here and still leave my blade sharp. So I might try to do that, and then maybe weld this to a tang. I don't know. I may try to salvage this. I may not. What a shame. This was going to be a really good lengthy video for you guys. I'm sorry, but on our channel, you guys always know it's the truth. Hit the subscribe button. Yeah, the $15 mossy oak.